How does an ink and key naming project work? Well, this is going to be the long version of the answer to this question, and I'm going to try to cover a few of the things that I would normally cover on a call if we decided to have a phone call together. So the first thing you're going to need to do to start a naming project with us is to go to my website, inkandkey.com, and then go to the Get a Name Now page. And so you're going to complete the proposal and make your payment on that page. And then once we receive that from you, we will send you a link to your questionnaire. And so you'll finish that questionnaire, submit it to us, and then on our end, we start setting up your project for you. We host all of our naming projects on an online collaboration platform called Slack. Most people that come to us are already familiar with Slack. A lot of businesses use it now for all of their internal communications instead of email. But if you're not familiar with Slack, it's very user-friendly, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have about that. So if you ask us on the questionnaire for a non-disclosure agreement, we take care of that for you first. And my team will sign that if you need one, and they'll begin to onboard the Workspace to start working on ideas for you. We ask for 48 hours to get ideas ready, and then once that 48-hour passes, we will email you a link to your Slack Workspace. So once you arrive on Slack, you will be in the general channel, which is kind of like the living room. That's where a lot of fun happens, and you'll start getting invitations to private channels. Each person on the team has their own private channel, and that's where they put their ideas for you. And that's where you're going to go and give individual feedback to each person. You can also use the general channel and give feedback to everyone as a group. Also, the general channel is a great place to post other additional items that you have that you'd like to share with us, like a mood board or like a spreadsheet or any other information you have that you've worked on prior to our project. Something else to know is if you have colleagues or partners, they are very welcome to join you on the project. All you need to do is forward them the link that we send to you. That's the invitation to the Slack Workspace. And something else is that a lot of clients will do this for us. It's really, really fun. You can download the Slack app on your phone and make a video for us, just talking to us about your brand, talking to us about your name. And what this does is this really kind of, well, it puts a face to you for one thing, so we get to meet you through your video. And also, it's just really neat for us to see the passion that each client has behind their brand, because we don't have anyone that comes to us that is not passionate about what they're naming. Everyone's excited about what they're building, whether it's a product or a company, a startup, whatever it is. They're excited about it. They're passionate. They want a name. And so we love seeing videos of people talking about their brand and what they want to name. And it just makes it more fun. It humanizes it, and it's not a requirement, but if you want to do a video and you want to get it in the general channel before the team starts working on name ideas for you, just let me know and I'll help you figure out how we're going to do that. Something else to note is that my team is really diverse. Each person on the team was chosen because of the different approaches they have to naming and their processes. And so it's the diversity of our team that makes us strong and helps us to be able to meet the needs of the diverse range of clients that come to us from all over the world, all the different industries, the different sizes of companies, and so on. And so what you'll notice a lot of times is when you start going through the channels and you start looking at different people's ideas, you're going to notice that there are some people on the team that you really resonate with and you think, man, these people really get me. And there are going to be a few people you might notice and think, I don't even know why this person's on a naming team. Their names are terrible, or they just don't seem to understand the brief. And that's okay. That's sort of part of the process, and that's expected. So don't be thrown off by that at all. You are very free and very welcome after the first couple rounds to start zeroing in on those people on the team that you're really resonating with, and that will help you begin to narrow down ideas, and you can start working one-on-one more with those people. Something else to notice, and this is kind of interesting, something we found out after doing this now for a few years, is when clients come to us with really, really strict parameters about the kind of name that they want. For instance, they might say, I don't want this kind of name and I really want this kind of name. about 65% of the time, those clients will walk away with the kind of name they said they didn't want in the first place. What you'll notice is that sometimes the first round of ideas, you're going to find that a few people on the team are going to give you some name ideas that you might think they didn't read my brief. They're ignoring what I said I wanted. That's actually not the case. What we feel like we need to do, sort of our responsibility, is to give you a really wide perspective, like taking several steps back regarding the brand that you want to build. And so we're going to give you maybe a few ideas that might be outside of what you said you wanted, but don't think we're ignoring you. We're just trying to make sure that we do our part of giving you the diversity that you need so you'll have more name ideas to choose from. But once you give us feedback and let us know, you'll notice that we'll zero in really quickly towards the kind of name that you're looking for. Something else of note that's important is that expectations. If you're coming to us thinking that you're going to get sort of a tingly feeling and you're going to have love at first sight when you see the name and you're going to know it's the one, that's probably not going to happen. Generally, naming is an objective decision. It's not as subjective as you might think. And so if you're expecting a name to jump off the page at you and it's going to be love at first sight and you're going to know it, you might end up being disappointed. The better way to approach making that final decision is to use objective criteria and approach those names on your short list with, does this name meet my criteria? Can this name grow with me as my brand grows and changes? What kind of potential does this name have for my industry? How does this name compare to other names in my industry? Well, do I want to stand out? Do I want to blend in? So there are a lot of things you can do, but most of the time, a name is not going to jump off the page at you. One of the reasons for that, besides all the other things I already mentioned, is just that a name is a word and it hasn't yet grown into the brand that you're going to build. So your name is just sort of the door that's going to open up to everything that your brand is going to become. And so I'd be glad to talk with you about that more on the phone, or if you want to go into more depth on that topic. I can also talk to you about brand messaging, which I think is really important to build that foundation first before you start building out the rest of your marketing collateral. So if you have any more questions about how a naming project works at Ink & Key, feel free to schedule a call with me and we can talk more in depth if I didn't answer all of your questions. Oh, actually, here's one that I didn't answer before we sign off. A lot of people want to know, how does a naming project end, or how do we make that final decision? Basically, you just let me know, hey, we've made a decision, and then we'll go ahead and close things down, and then you will go and purchase the domain that you want if you need one, and then you and I will talk about the next steps, whether you want to go ahead and create a logo with us, website, brand messaging, and all those other things, and we can keep working together, and so we can help you get your brand launched.